surfaces.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates submarine cable connectivity for Andaman and Nicobar Islands via video conferencing. Lords BSNL's work of laying undersea cable in record time. Prime Minister says project connecting the islands with rest of the country is symbol of commitment towards ease of living. Prime Minister assures that major problem of mobile and internet connectivity in the islands has been resolved today. Says high impact projects being expanded in 12 islands of Andaman and Nicobar. Apart from this, physical connectivity through road, air and water also being strengthened. Ahead of World Elephant Day 2020 on August 12, Union Environment Minister Prasar Bharati releases document on best practices in human-elephant conflict management and launches national portal on the same. Relief for monsoon-battered Kerala as intensity of rain comes down considerably in several parts. In Idukki district, 48 bodies retrieved so far from landslide site. NDRF and fire service personnel continue search operations. India's COVID-19 recoveries crossed the historic peak of 1.5 million. Highest ever single-day recoveries of 54,859 today. Case fatality rate touches a new low of 2%. In Lebanon, clashes erupt at protests demanding justice over August 4 Beirut explosion. 2 government ministers resign. International community pledges aid for Lebanon. Hello, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting the Bulletin. In the next half an hour, we'll get an account of everything that's been making it to the headlines. Our top story first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated the submarine optical fiber cable connecting Chennai and Port Blair via video conferencing today. The submarine cable will also connect Port Blair to Swaraj Dweep, Little Andaman, Car Nicobar, Kamorta, Great Nicobar, Long Island and Rangat. The new network will enable delivery of faster and more reliable mobile and landline telecom services to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands at par with the other parts of the country. Addressing the gathering, Prime Minister Modi praised all those involved in completing the work of laying the 2,300 kilometers long cable undersea before the scheduled time, especially amidst dealing with corona pandemic. He stressed that the optical fiber cable project connecting Andaman and Nicobar with the rest of the country is a symbol of our commitment towards ease of living.
समंदर के भीतर करीब 2300 किलोमीटर तक केबल बिछाने का ये काम समय से पहले पूरा करना ये अपने आप में बहुत प्रशंसनीय है। मुझे खुशी है कि सारी रुकावटों को किनारे करके इस काम को पूरा किया गया। यहां तक कि कोरोना जैसी आपदा जिसके कारण एक प्रकार से बहुत सी चीजें प्रभावित हुई, बहुत सी चीजें ठप कर हो गई, वो भी इस काम को पूरा होने से रोक नहीं पाई।
Adding that the importance of the islands has increased in light of India's Act East policy, Prime Minister said that an island development agency was created 3 years ago, as a result of which connectivity is being enhanced between 12 islands of the cluster.
एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी के तहत पूर्वी एशियाई देशों और समंदर से जुड़े दूसरे देशों के साथ भारत के मजबूत होते रिश्तों में अंडमान निकोबार की भूमिका बहुत अधिक है और ये निरंतर बढ़ने वाली है। नए भारत में अंडमान निकोबार द्वीप समूह की इसी भूमिका को मजबूत करने के लिए 3 साल पहले आइलैंड डेवलपमेंट एजेंसी का गठन किया गया था। आज आप देख रहे हैं कि अंडमान निकोबार में जो प्रोजेक्ट बरसों बरस पूरे नहीं होते थे, वो अब तेजी से कंप्लीट हो रहे हैं।
Today, India is focusing its energy on emerging as a global player in global manufacturing hub and global supply and value chain. Prime Minister said that in this direction, the government is building a big network connecting the big seaports with landlocked states of the country.
आज जब भारत आत्मनिर्भरता के संकल्प के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है, ग्लोबल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब के रूप में, ग्लोबल सप्लाई और वैल्यू चेन के एक अहम प्लेयर के रूप में खुद को स्थापित करने में जुटा है, तब हमारे वाटरवेज और हमारे पोर्ट्स के नेटवर्क को सशक्त करना बहुत जरूरी है। आज हम नदी जलमार्गों का एक बड़ा नेटवर्क तैयार कर रहे हैं, जो समुद्र के बड़े पोर्ट्स को देश के लैंडलॉक राज्यों से कनेक्ट कर रहा है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that 2,300 kilometers cable will not just boost digital connectivity of Andaman Islands with the mainland, but also boost tourism. He added that tourists going to Andaman will get huge benefit of this facility because better net connectivity has become the first priority of any tourist destination.
अंडमान को जो सुविधा मिली है, उसका बहुत बड़ा लाभ वहां जाने वाले टूरिस्टों को भी मिलेगा। अब इंटरनेट अच्छा मिलेगा तो मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि लोग जो टूरिस्ट के नीचे वहां आते हैं, वो वापस जाने की जल्दी नहीं करेंगे, वो लंबे समय के लिए वहां रुकना पसंद करेंगे। और जब लोग ज्यादा रुकेंगे, अंडमान निकोबार के समंदर का, वहां के खान पान का आनंद लेंगे तो इसका बहुत बड़ा प्रभाव रोजगार भी पड़ेगा और रोजगार के भी नए अवसर बनेंगे।
Better connectivity will facilitate delivery of e-governance services like telemedicine and tele-education. Small enterprises will benefit from opportunities in e-commerce. Educational institutions will utilize enhanced availability of bandwidth for learning and knowledge sharing. Business process outsourcing services and other medium and large enterprises will also reap the benefits of better connectivity. The foundation stone for this project was laid by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 30th of December 2018 at Port Blair. And ahead of World Elephant Day 2020 on August 12th, Union Environment Minister Prasar Bharati today released the document on best practices in human-elephant conflict management and also launched the national portal on the same. Addressing the gathering, Prasar Bharati said that poaching, habitat loss, human-elephant conflict and mistreatment in captivity are some of the threats to both African and Asian elephants. He added that sensors will be used to trace the movement of elephants. The minister also said food and other requirements of the elephants will be ensured inside the forests only so that they do not wander outside and get into conflicts with humans.
एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट न हो उसके सीधे सीधे उपाय भी होते हैं कि अगर सिग्नलिंग करेंगे कि सेंसर से हाथी की मूवमेंट का पता करके अगर रोड पर वो जो रेलवे के सिग्नल जैसे मैंड गेट पर पड़ते हैं वैसे सिग्नल पड़ेंगे तो बीच में से हाथी जाएंगे, बाकी यातायात रुकेगी। और वो हमने शुरू किया और सफल रहा।
On the occasion, Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Minister of State for Environment and Climate Change, Babul Supriyo, said that incidents of human-elephant conflict kills around 500 people every year. He added that inhuman behavior with elephants will not be tolerated, but at the same time, efforts are being made to avert such conflicts.
A lot of human-animal conflicts that happen in the country. And, most of the times, the elephants, the death of elephants or cruelty against animals, which is definitely an illegal act. A number of human beings, I would say that, what is the ratio, Soumitra? I think for one elephant that we that gets gets hurt or fatally injured in a animal-human conflict, there are 500 human beings who lose their life, and therefore it is very, very important for us to understand.
World Lion Day is being celebrated today with an aim to conserve and spread awareness about the big cats and their declining population. People and environmentalists come together on this day every year to celebrate the mighty lions on this day. We get to more in this report.
The lion has always been the most revered of the big cats. Movies like Lion King immortalized the character Simba, a young cub, and intrigued many into the lives of lions, the majestic cats who are now restricted to only parts of Africa and India. Each year on 10th of August, World Lion Day is celebrated, where environmentalists around the globe try to bring awareness to the declining population of lions. India has recorded a 29% increase in the population of Asiatic lions living in Gujarat's Gir forest in the past 5 years, with their population going up from 523 in 2015 to 674 in 2020. A total of 208 Asiatic lions are housed in 31 Indian zoos across the country and have been a star attraction in promoting conservation awareness and outreach for visitors, especially children, that are able to see these magnificent creatures up and close in the zoos. The population estimation of Asiatic lions is conducted at an interval of 5 years. Today, Asiatic lions are present in Gir National Park and Sanctuary and constitutes 53 talukas covering a sprawling expanse of around 30,000 square kilometers, which is termed as the Asiatic lion landscape. The government has given high priority for conservation of this flagship species and has initiated a dedicated lion conservation project. Habitat improvement, disease control and enhancing protection mechanism have been given due priority in lion conservation. Taposh Bhattacharya's report, DD News, Delhi.
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today laid the foundation stone of Rajya Sabha housing complex in RK Sector 12 in the national capital via video conferencing. Union Urban Housing Minister Hardeep Singh Puri was also present on the occasion. Addressing the event, the Vice President said that it took nearly 17 years to build the housing complex for Rajya Sabha employees at RK Puram in New Delhi. He also stated that there is an acute shortage of housing for employees, and with the relocation of RSTV channel to this new place will bring substantial savings.
This long period of 17 years taken to lay foundation stone falls into perspective when viewed against the acute shortage of housing for the Secretariat employees. An early action would have resulted in substantial savings for the Rajya Sabha Secretariat in the form of a house rent allowance. The Secretariat has been paying a huge annual rent of about 30 crores for locating RSTV in the NDMC building till recently.
The Vice President also said that 60 housing units at the cost of 46 crore rupees will be constructed with the aim to provide housing to all the employees.
We have decided to build 60 housing units, including 32 type 3 and 28 type 4 houses for a land parcel of 4,024 square meters at an estimated cost of about 46 crores. The purpose was to provide housing for the employees of the Rajya Sabha Secretariat.
BJP National President JP Nadda today presided over the Bhumi Pujan program of 9 BJP Telangana district offices through video conferencing. Addressing the event, Nadda said that district level offices of parties play a significant role in development of the state, and thus such offices are being constructed in various states across the country.
हम हर एक प्रदेश कार्यालय में एक अच्छा सुसज्जित मॉडर्न कार्यालय बनाएंगे जो नई व्यवस्थाओं के साथ सुसज्जित होगा और हर जिले में एक अच्छा कार्यालय बनाएंगे जिसके कारण हमारे कार्यकर्ता काम कर सकें.
In Idukki district of Kerala, 5 more bodies have been recovered from the debris of the landslide at Rajamala near Munnar in Idukki district today. With this, 48 bodies have been retrieved so far. 17 bodies were recovered from the site yesterday. National Disaster Response Force team, the State Forest Department officials, police, fire and rescue services personnel, revenue officials and local police and people are involved in the search operations. The mishap took place on Thursday night following heavy rains in the region. Huge boulders, rock and earth fell on the dwellings of the tea estate workers, wiping out several families. Meanwhile, Kerala heaved a sigh of relief this morning with the intensity of rain coming down considerably in several parts of the state. Water has started receding from the low-lying areas of Kottayam and in Kuttanad region of Alappur district, which remained inundated yesterday. The inflow into Pampa Dam in Pathanimthitta district has also come down. The authorities have downed the shutters of the dam, which were opened yesterday afternoon to regulate the reservoir level. The Met Department has said that moderate rainfall accompanied with gusty winds reaching up to 40 kilometers per hour is likely at isolated places across Kerala and in the Lakshadweep Islands. Fishermen have been advised not to venture into the sea as strong winds with speed reaching up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour is likely to prevail along and off the Kerala coast. And now a quick update on the COVID-19 situation in the country. COVID-19 infection still remains concentrated in 10 states that contribute to more than 80% of the new cases. Now, according to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, India's COVID-19 recoveries have crossed the historic peak of 1.5 million. With 54,859 patients discharged yesterday, the total number of recoveries stands at 15,35,743. And the recovery rate has risen to 69.33%. On your screens, we have the graphics giving out the statistical details. While with 1,007 deaths recorded in the last 24 hours, 44,386 deaths have been recorded so far, and the case fatality rate has fallen to 2%. Now, the recovery of over 15 lakh has been made possible because of policy of testing aggressively, tracking comprehensively and treating efficiently. Now, according to the ICMR, that is Indian Council of Medical Research, the total number of COVID-19 samples tested so far is 2,45,83,558, including 4,77,023 samples which were tested yesterday. Better ambulance services, focus on standard of care and use of non-invasive oxygen have given the desired results. And in other news, in a money laundering case linked to alleged suicide of Bollywood actor Sushant Singh Rajput, today Riya Chakrabarti appeared before the Enforcement Directorate office in Mumbai for second round of questioning. Riya was accompanied with her father Indrajit Chakrabarti and her brother Shauvik Chakrabarti. All three are being quizzed today by the Enforcement Directorate. Riya's former manager, Shruti Modi, has also arrived at the ED office. On August 7th, Riya was questioned for the first time in this case by the ED, and in hours-long questioning, she was purportedly not cooperating in the investigation and her answers could not satisfy the agency. Her family and the CAs have also been asked various questions on businesses, income, investments and financial dealings with Sushant. So far, it is revealed that Riya and Shauvik used Sushant's personal bank account for purchasing flight tickets and other personal expenses. Meanwhile, Siddharth Pitani is likely to be quizzed by the Enforcement Directorate later in the day. Siddharth Pitani has allegedly confessed that something was amiss because he was among the few people who were the first one to see Sushant Singh Rajput hanging when he allegedly committed suicide. Meanwhile, after taking over the investigation of Sushant Singh Rajput's death case, the CBI has obtained all the documents related to the case from Bihar police. Along with this, the CBI has also talked to the officers of Bihar police who went to Mumbai regarding the case. Besides, the CBI is in constant contact with ED officials. All the information that the ED has so far is being collected by the CBI. The NIA court in Kochi today rejected the bail petition of Swapna Suresh, a key accused in the diplomatic baggage gold smuggling case. Dismissing the petition, the court rejected the contention of the accused that the provisions of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act will not apply as it is a case of gold smuggling. It added that there is evidence in the case diary that gold was smuggled many times in diplomatic baggage and that the accused knew that this was a threat to India's economic security. The prosecution had argued that the accused could influence witnesses if her bail application is allowed. The Supreme Court today granted time to the University Grants Commission to respond to the position taken by Maharashtra and Delhi government to cancel the university examinations amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The Apex Court has also sought the reply by the UGC to address the question whether the Disaster Management Act would override the UGC notification on the guidelines for exams. The governments of Delhi and Maharashtra had earlier filed affidavits in the court stating that the exams would not be conducted in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, appearing for University Grants Commission, said that it is the only body that can prescribe rules for conferring a degree. States cannot change rules, and it is not in the interest of the students to not have exams. The UGC maintained that the exams need to be conducted by September 30th. The next hearing on the case is on August 14. On the issue of air pollution in the national capital, Supreme Court asked Delhi government to file an affidavit on what steps have been taken to curb air pollution. The Apex Court also asked the centre to formulate rules or law to prevent and confiscate the vehicles running on kerosene, and kerosene-run vehicles cannot ply on roads. The court also asked the Centre, Environment Pollution Prevention and Control Authority and the Delhi government to file the reports. Supreme Court has also sought report from Punjab, Haryana and Delhi on the steps being taken at panchayat levels to stop stubble burning. And now we get to an update on the Kozhikode air crash. 115 persons injured in the mishap at Calicut International Airport in Karipur are currently undergoing treatment at various hospitals in Kozhikode and Malappuram districts. Of these, 14 persons continue to be critical, while 57 persons were discharged after treatment. Meanwhile, state police have formed a 30-member team to carry out a probe into the incident. The mishap took place on Friday evening when an Air India Express flight from Dubai overshot the runway at Calicut International Airport and fell into a valley. The accident claimed 18 lives. Pakistan yet again violated ceasefire in Balakot sector in the Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. At about 10:15 a.m., Pakistan initiated unprovoked ceasefire violation by firing with small arms along the LOC in Balakot sector. Indian Army retaliating befittingly is what we hear. The latest. Mandeep Singh, a member of the Indian men's hockey team who was given the COVID test, that is RT-PCR, along with 20 other players at the national camp at SAI's National Centre of Excellence in Bengaluru, has tested COVID positive. Although he is asymptomatic, he is being administered treatment by doctors along with other 5 players who have tested positive. In total now, 6 hockey players have tested positive, including the national team captain Manpreet Singh, who tested positive last week. That's it in this edition of the News Sir. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.